Let's talk a little bit about something that I think is a no-brainer. And on the one hand, I'm like kind of excited about it because I think it's awesome. And the other part of me is kind of sad because I realize it'll never be the same again. Slim Jim has a brand new sponsorship with WWE. They're going to have their logo on the center of the canvas, but they're also going to have Slim Jim imaging and branding on all of the ringside folding tables. So when they pull a table out from under the ring, it's going to say Slim Jim on it. I guess this isn't that big of a deal. It certainly feels like a big deal. And on the one hand, as a business guy, John, I'm thinking this is a no-brainer. Why weren't they doing this the whole time? I love it. But then the wrestling fan of me says, oh, man, I hate that it's changing a little more. There's one more thing that's going to change. And I don't know. I guess I'm just nostalgic about the way it used to be. And now it just feels like there's all these changes with the way the show looks now that it's like it's starting to feel different. What do you think?
It is starting to feel different. And it was Vince McMahon. I just don't think Vince would have ever agreed to put logos on tables, logos on the rings, logos on the turnbuckles. I have no problem with it. That's the future. That's what we're going with. They make a ton of money doing that stuff, by the way. Down in I was just down in Mexico City. AAA makes a lot of their money off sponsorships. They play them during the matches. They actually play them on the big Titan screen up top. It makes sense to have it, but I'm a little bit traditionalist. I kind of like the clean ring and all that stuff, but I think when you're seeing the numbers roll in, you get over it pretty quick.
We should also talk about some of those other numbers that are continuing to roll WWE's way. From what we understand, starting in June, like now, WWE Smackdown was supposed to go back to 2 hours. But as it turns out, they negotiated a new deal. So they've added a third hour. So they've got a third hour they're getting paid for now, which means instead of there being 4.5 hours of WWE, now there's 5.5. What do you think of a 3-hour SmackDown? Is it too much?
It's a lot. It is a lot. It is tough to do a 3-hour show. I was always on SmackDown, thank goodness. Not always. I was on Raw some, but man, it was so much easier doing 2 hours. 2 hours flies by. I mean, it really does. When you have, a hot main event, you have a good opening match, you have a good crossover match. Those are the three, tent poles that you got to have, and you build around those three tent poles when you have a 2 hour match, 2 hour show, your start, your crossover, then your ending. With the 3 hour, man, it seems like you've added an eternity. That's a lot of wrestling. I understand it's money, and if you take the money, but that's a lot of creative and a lot of wrestling that you have to cover.
I do want to spend just a minute and talk about what happened this weekend. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Somehow, some way, Alberto Del Rio lost the AAA Mega Championship to El Hijo de Vikingo. And I don't know how they knew on Netflix last week that Vikingo was going to be wrestling Chad Gable for the title this Saturday on YouTube at When Worlds Collide. But I'll be damned if they didn't figure it out somehow. You were there live that night. Man, what a hot crowd it was.
Oh.
It was so cool to see you doing your thing and the vitriol response that we saw from the crowd. Tell us about your experience Saturday night and I guess the tragedy of Alberto really being cheated out of his title. I mean, if we just want to be honest about it, he took a guitar shot. That's not legal. That's not fair. There was cheating involved, John.
Yep. Vikingo cheated.
Yes.
Typical luchador cheats, in the vein of, say, Rey Mysterio, the deadbeat dad.
Yes.
And, people and guys like El Grande Americano, who took Chad Gable's spot.
Yes.
There's some bad people out there. And Vikingo is one of those people. And I want to tell you, I was in Mexico City. I was in the ring. You couldn't even hear yourself talk. The people were so loud. That was a hell of a show. I mean, an unbelievable show from top to bottom. When you watch this, people watch Worlds Collide coming up, and I'm not promoting, anything. I'm telling you what I saw. This, again, I'm not, just preaching my own book because I'm not going to be there. you're going to be surprised about how good this talent is. I mean, that psycho clown, that Pagano, the hamburger boy, he has been a guy who's charismatic. The Guano boy, there's so many guys out there, Messias, that have real incredible talent. Mecha Wolf, Del Rio, to me, that was an unbelievable match. If you got a chance to watch it, you should watch it. Del Rio beat up half the security at ringside, slapped him around. He beat up his dad at a talk show the day or two before. That's what sold the arena out. They told me that the arena had not sold out yet. And when Del Rio did that on TV, that's when they sold the place out. He's a draw. He's a hell of a draw. And it was an unbelievable match. But again, Vikingo cheated and won the title, and it's tainted.
It is tainted, and I hope that gets corrected sooner rather than later. John, in all seriousness, I do want to ask your opinion. And again, I know that people don't believe this, but we're telling the truth. You're not under contract to WWE. You don't work for WWE, so you can give an honest answer. Because I know you don't have any inside information. I just want your opinion. Do you think we see Alberto in WWE ever again? Or do you think there is some sort of glass ceiling in place right now that would keep him, quote unquote, just in AAA?
I think probably. You had some WWE guys down there. They've bought the company, and there's some WWE guys down there. And I saw him go up to him after and shake his hand. He had an unbelievable performance. And I said a while back I thought he's the best wrestler in the world, and some people took me to task, and that's fine. That's your opinion. That was my opinion that he's the best wrestler in the world. Watch this match and tell me he isn't. I'm telling you, he is a ring general. I saw him directing people, setting everything up during the day. I mean, he is a freaking ring general. It's unbelievable how good he is. And when the WWE guys saw him, you could tell there was an appreciation. So I hope he is. I hope he is, because I'm a wrestling fan, and I want to see him against guys like Cody, against guys like Jey Uso, against Roman Reigns. I want to see those. I saw him against Dolph down in Mexico. That was amazing. This match with Vikingo, this guy's great. Check him out on this Worlds Collide. You're going to love this guy. And I think him and Chad Gable are going to have a hell of a match. But you got to see Del Rio in this match. I would recommend people go look it up. If you doubt me at all, go look at it. And then if you still think I'm wrong, then that's your opinion, and we have different opinions. But I think he's the best wrestler in the world, and I hope he does end up in WWE.
Go check it out. It is on YouTube. I did get a chance to watch the match over the weekend. I concur with you. It was a fantastic match. Just look for Vikingo and Alberto in YouTube, and you'll see it.
Boy, he slapped around those security guys. What great heat, man.
Yes.
Yes. That was surprising. I'm just sitting there watching. All of a sudden, he jack slaps a couple of security guys. This is awesome.
By the way, he's our buddy, but how fun was it to see Vikingo dropkick Dorian? Anytime you see a promoter take a bump, I'm here for it. And when they drop kicked him, I was like, I don't know why this is fun, but it is. I love.
You know what's great about that, Conrad? Dorian is a very beloved figure. People love Dorian, and they love him. They love him backstage. All the boys love him. But when he got drop kicked, all the boys backstage popped. We're all sitting there watching, because it's just, for some reason, when the promoter gets it, it's funny. It's funny.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105. Or get yourself a quick quote, even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.